Mackenzie, you go first. You never go first.
I went first besides the one we just watched, I went first for Ron and Barry Lyndon. We just watched 2 weeks in a row.
Okay, yeah, 2 out of the 4,000 movies we've watched in our lifetime. You never speak first.
Recently, I've been going first.
Why are you getting mad? Why can't you speak first?
I'm just offended by that.
Is this how the Stooges break up? I asked him, hey, you want to go first, and he loses his mind?
Stupid.
What the fuck, man? Okay, fine. Fuck you. I'll go first. Unless you want to do it, Chris.
You could do whatever.
How about we kill Mackenzie?
Yes.
Okay, I think I really like this.
Wait. Before we start, I want to say this will be a spoiler review.
Just a warning.
Yeah.
There's the Darth Vader icon on this. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
On letterboxd, when you put spoilers during the review, Darth Vader shows up. Oh, because the spoiler is Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father. That's a real thing. You never. It's because we never do the spoiler. You don't do reviews. Anyways, okay. I'm gonna go first, I guess. I want to say I really like this. I have a lot of thoughts, really. I want to talk about the idea of shooting on digital, because here's what I think. Right, I think I really do love the look of film. I think we can all agree on that. The look of film just looks good, the grain, and it's just it's more appealing. And, I remember, besides, some exceptions, for me, such as, honestly, Parasite, I don't like it when, if it's shot on digital, if it's, really, really, hyper smoothed, you know what I mean? And so, sometimes you look at something like that, and you're like, oh, yeah, it looks really smooth, but,
Like a commercial.
Yeah, like a commercial, sometimes it can get bad, but, this is one of those examples where, at least for me, I didn't catch that. I thought this was, captured really well. I think just, honestly, the literal architecture of South Korea, just, where this was shot, is, interesting. You know what I mean?
And then, those scenes, but beyond that, the scenes outside.
Yes. Oh, dudes. Yeah,
scenes outside in the countryside.
They're
amazing.
really, really good. Yeah, no, I think, I think this film looks good. I think it does some things with just lighting and colors that look really good. And in that sense, I kind of appreciate it being shot on digital because it's more crisp. It's it's smooth enough to where I can really appreciate these things that I mentioned, just like you said, the outdoors and just the look of things, but it's not too smooth to the point where it feels like I'm watching a car commercial.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, and I think that's how digital should be. Except for stuff like we're talking digital cameras. That's a completely different story. I'm talking about the high quality big cameras. That are digital. 4K. No, you know what
8K.
I mean. 8K. You know what I mean. So yeah, I want to bring that up first, just because I think this movie looks good. I admire it for that, and I feel like it's coming back to me, all the shots in there that were just really, really stellar,
honestly,
dude.
It's a thing where it's you watching it, you're like, oh wow, that's really good, but just tracing back the whole picture.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy.
Honestly, possibly my favorite shot. I know, because I feel like there's so many good ones. But when he's in the art museum and it's just that painting of it's red of all those things, fire, dude. I fucking loved that shot. Crazy. I know it's pretty simple, but I don't know. It was just a hard cut to that.
Well, they were in the church too, and that was a good shot.
That was a good shot.
This movie's full of great
shots.
It's
I think the cinematography. I think the cinematography is solid in this. Now to go into kind of the meat and potatoes of the film, which is what the fuck happened.
The saute summer squash dish.
And I think, honestly, I'm just tired, man, because I feel like it hasn't even really hit me about, everything.
No, for me, I'm just realizing it all
right now. It's
because the thing is, it moves so, I don't, kind of subtle. You don't realize things are as
changing,
significant as they are, and shifting.
Exactly. It's so strange because, at first I was kind of dissecting this movie in a sense where I was like, okay, these are, characters besides Ben. These are characters that like are missing something. You know what I mean? It's like there's this kind of this void, there's this emptiness, and there's a lot of emotions behind it. Like I forget how to Jaime, something like that. The girl. We're just gonna call the girl. Yeah, the main girl. It's like, you know, she's someone who's like very passionate, and she's looking for, you know, the great hunger. She wants to like kind of fill an aspect of her life that isn't quite clear exactly what it is, but she just needs some kind of fulfillment, and she's very sad about it, you know, and like, you know, like there's like these stories of like how she was called ugly, you know.
She got plastic surgery.
Yeah, she got plastic surgery, and even
then like she's having sex with this guy who she doesn't even know.
Yeah, the well. It's like it's like she's just looking. She's like frantically looking around for something to kind of help change her.
Yeah, she like takes her shirt off in front of these guys.
Exactly. Yeah, she's getting high, like doing all these things. But like the guy, the main character, he's a bit more careful. It's like he's kind of more subtle with like his longing, you know, because it shows that he has a hatred for his father, and yet he still goes to the court because he wants to see what happens to him. He's like kind of trying to take care of his home, and like he's doing all these things, but you know, and he's a writer, but he doesn't even know what to write about. He has a passion for it because he talks about, I'm forgetting the name of the guy.
Faulkner.
Yeah, exactly, Faulkner. But like, you know, you can just tell that he's missing something, and
he also hates his mother.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, but like something that like really stood out to me, that like stuck with me throughout the entirety of the movie, were two scenes that kind of I kept reminding myself of because I thought they were really interesting, and they kind of helped tie a lot of things together, in my opinion. When he has sex with her, there's at the very beginning, like, I think that's the only time they have sex.
Yeah.
You know, that light that comes into the room. It's like when the light comes in, he looks at that, and he stares at that the whole time while he's like having sex with her.
Amazing.
And then, you know, every time he goes back to that room, he looks up at where the light was reflected off of that tower, and like he jerks off, you know. And so like I feel like that is it's a symbol of like, these are people that are like longing for something, right? Like that, and it's like that in that brief moment he caught something very special. You know, it was a mixture of, oh wow, I'm having this relationship with this girl, but also it's like this other thing, this thing that, you know, he doesn't really even truly understand, but it's fulfilling to him. It's something that fills him.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's very very interesting. And then the other scene that I thought about was when they're having food. I think this is before they had sex, and she explains the whole like the orange thing. Yeah, and like this idea of like, you know, it's not like you got to convince yourself that something's real. You just gotta. It was something specific, like it was kind of backwards logic, where it's like, you gotta trick yourself into, you gotta like, I don't know.
Yeah,
but
like
the whole
make
point
yourself believe that it's real, and then it will be.
Exactly.
Like
yeah. Exactly. It's something interesting.
That's kind of like the conflict. Like he kind of tricked himself into believing that Steven Yeun did all these things, where it's no one knows if he actually did.
Exactly.
Ben, I should stop calling him Steven Yeun.
No, well, it's okay. I mean, it's just the actor's name. But yeah, those are things that I kept thinking about, because it's like, it's like, what is the truth here? You know, is everything that like the main character is thinking, like, is he figuring some shit out and he's finding what's real, or is it literally just, dude, he's missing something and he's filling it with a bunch of bullshit?
Yeah.
Because like,
I was gonna say, it's like he's romanticizing his boring life, but like in a better way.
Exactly.
That sounds so stupid, but like, you know what I mean? Like he definitely is almost creating this narrative out of thin air, but there's enough breadcrumbs to where he can conjure something, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's enough clues and enough weird coincidences and things happening to where he can make himself believe something is going on. And who knows, maybe something was going on, maybe something fishy was happening.
Yeah, because I mean, like, there are times where it really was strange. I honestly, it's like how you mentioned how very subtly the movie like changes. The moment where I was like, wait, something actually like kind of fucky is going on here was honestly when he knocked on the window, like he called him and was like, hey, where are you right now? You know, because it's like, that's only something you get in a different movie. And that's when I realized, wait, this movie's like changing, like legitimately, like that when it subtle. Like when it really, I was like, holy cow, like is this becoming a murder mystery? Like, what the hell is going on?
Exactly. No, I had no idea what to expect.
Exactly.
And
it was so strange.
The movie just kind of like, it never gives you any sort of it never gives you anything. It's just always kind of baiting you, but it never reveals anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And the very end is so cathartic. It's incredible.
Yeah,
That ending is...
I was gonna say, and what a long take, by the way.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
that was
no,
great.
that was
crazy.
Jesus. No, I was gonna say a huge part of this movie for me, and this is a thing in a lot of Korean movies because of the way their society is, sadly. It's like the kind of class difference, you know what I mean? Because Korea has like it has a lot of poverty.
Yeah,
like
a lot of poverty.
But also it has like some of the most like kind of affluent, rich cities to where it's almost it's like part of the country is like a first world country, and then another part of the country is like it's just so impoverished. You know what I mean? It's crazy. So. So like a big part of that is kind of that envy on
precisely
what's his name's part. The main character.
Yeah, I'm forgetting his name. It's like it starts with a J.
Jung Yu.
No, I think it's Jung Yu.
Oh, is it?
Am I racist? I don't know.
I don't know.
He's the main character.
The main guy.
We know what we're talking about.
No, so he's just kind of like a lot of it. You could tell is motivated by envy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like, how does he cook all these things? He's only like 5 years older than me, and she's in love with him. You know what I mean?
She even says like the word envy. Like she says like, oh, I envy someone who like can cook. You know, like she like she's like in love with this guy or something. This she's in love with Ben almost. And
it's almost
but
like
he wants that.
Yeah, it's like he wants that, but his circumstances are so bad that he can't just have it. You know what I mean? And the thing that's so amazing is that like, what's his name? Like everything in this movie is perfectly, like, it all fits and it all makes sense because what's his name? Like Ben. Yeah. He is kind of a creepy, but like a guy like that would need to be kind of like, I don't want to say conniving, but a bit like self-interested and doing things just for the hell of it, like burning down those. Things.
I have a lot. I have a thought about that.
They're like there's a lot in this movie to dissect.
Yeah,
it's really dense, but the thing is, it doesn't feel dense.
No, well,
it feels so like
it's just it's the way it's structured.
Yeah,
it truly is,
and it's really long, but it's like so many of the scenes are, I don't want to say like nothing happening, but they're very airy. There's not much dialogue,
very
not much
quiet
progression, just kind of. It's really subtle. It's very weird.
Yeah, and
I've never seen a movie play like this before.
And honestly, until I started really realizing that the movie was like changing. You know what I mean? Like from what it was in the beginning, is like the like in the sound. There's a lot of music in this movie, or at least just like repetitive tracks, and like it really does go from like. Just like that scene with the jazz, by the way, like where she takes her shirt off in front of the sunset. Amazing scene.
I was gonna say, dude, like for a lot of this movie, it made me feel like it felt like August or September. You know what I mean? Where it's like still kind of hot outside, especially in the beginning. Yeah. But, like the sky is so blue. It's incredible. Yeah. No, they honestly like the times of days that they shot in this movie. Like it reminds me of like Ron or something, where it's like they. Don't say it. Where it's
fucking watch it. Bro.
No, where it's like they shot it at like the perfect time. Like even subtle scenes, like
dude catching those fucking birds flying through the sky in that one shot. Times. Yeah, it's so great.
And then even like the scene when they're driving back from the airport, like the sun is so bright in the background and the sky's a perfect mix of colors. It's so good.
Yeah, it really is. And I now want to get into something which is possibly one of the most intriguing topics, which is the actual burning of these greenhouses, because like I kind of took something from that's, I don't know, like this is my take on it, right? Ben, I already mentioned before how like both the girl and the guy, the main character and his significant other, like they are both in the state of life where they really are just kind of like missing something, and they don't even know really what it is. Ben seems to have it all, both like material wise, but also even just like he's at peace with everything. It's like when they were smoking weed. Oh yeah, when they're smoking weed, and he's like he talked about the balance of life, this idea of just like, oh yeah, all these things are happening at once, and that's fine. I'm here, it's fine.
He's never shed a tear in his life.
Never shed a tear.
He's never felt jealous in his life.
Exactly.
And imagine what a kind of chord of envy that struck within the main character, because when he's telling him he's getting in the car with this beautiful chick, this expensive car, and this guy's just like trying to find like almost a blemish on his perfect portrait of a
and
man.
there just isn't anything.
I mean, who knows?
And
but
he even
probably
says,
not.
and shit, it's like the main character even says like, and we don't really know why. Maybe he's just high and he's just like explaining his emotions and feelings. But like when he says like I love her, he just laughs. And it's know, and it's just like, does he even care? Like, there's like, there's nothing to dent this guy with.
No, and the thing is,
don't say he's the GOAT, you bastard.
Another thing about that scene that makes it perfect is that like he could be kind of laughing in a like sadistic way, like being like, oh, this guy, because they're so different.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And Ben would never say something about like that about a girl like her, because It's almost like this power dynamic is perfectly explained, but it's a thing where it's like, was he laughing because he was high, or was it's so subtle.
Dude, this scene,
she's just evil.
I really do want to get to the greenhouses, but that reminds me, the scene where she's like doing the small hunger and the great hunger dance, and like when they're at that bar or whatever, and he's yawning. He's yawning while like she's doing all this, like he's bored by her. It really is this idea where it's just like he's truly indifferent. Yeah. Like he truly is like in this state of mind where he doesn't fucking care. He doesn't fucking care. And the main character kind of hates him for that. But it's like you said, it's very subtle.
It's not it's like he doesn't actually hate him. He's just so full of envy.
Yeah,
That's how I see it.
Yeah, I mean shit, he ends up killing him. So I think he did hate him to some degree. But obviously it kind of builds.
And it's also a thing where it's like he, like in his head, he kind of took a lot from him, and he wasn't, you know what I mean? It was almost like an act of justice on his part, killing him. It could be seen that way.
Yeah.
But could be seen as like so many different emotions just coming all out in that one scene.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Who knows?
But so talking about Ben, his whole act of burning these greenhouses, it's like as if it's almost like this sort of release for him in some way,
that's good.
It's just something that he is, obviously he's like, oh, he works a lot. I mean, look at his financial situation, like obviously he's a busy man. He's a kind of guy that just, has his life figured out, but it's not like he's just like a robot, like he does this thing that is, like I said earlier, malicious, but like it kind of weirdly gives him more of a soul. Yeah. Like it shapes him of like the kind of human he really is, even more so. Cause like he does this as, like I said, almost like a release. But one of my favorite scenes is like the dream of the main character when like he's a kid and he goes out and like sees the greenhouse burning. Great shot. Great fucking shot.
That's
great scene in general.
Like honestly, like the scene before that and that scene, I'm like, okay, this movie's special.
Yeah,
like, this movie is like, okay, it's offering me way more than I thought it would.
Yeah, it's interesting. But no, here's what I thought, right? Is like Ben sees the idea of burning this thing as like a form of, just like releasing something, like kind of having this feeling like, pump in his chest. Yeah. But it's like the main character wants to do it to like fill something that's missing. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like when his mother left him, his dad made him burn all those clothes because, it's like, that's something that is like, it trades the place. Like this hate is what fills in the place of his mother missing. You know what I mean?
And it's
this idea of burning really does. I mean, hence the title of the movie really a great title, is like why it keeps coming up.
And there's so many subtle things that I can't even figure out because they just could have so many meanings. Like when he's like almost about to burn that greenhouse. Do you remember that?
Yeah. And then he's like freaks out, wops down, and then honestly, there's that shot of like the branches kind of in the way. That was a great shot.
Yeah, no, it's almost. I mean, how I'm seeing it right now, it's almost as if like what's his name, like you said, Ben is doing it as some sort of like release. You know what I mean? It's almost like he sees that as like, this kind of rich person kind of taking, like doing something kind of, how do I say this, like needlessly malicious.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's like he almost kind of wants to be like that, but he realizes that like it's bad. So
he can't. Yeah, he can't do it.
And also, it's like he doesn't feel like it's his place to do that just because of his status and because of his life and because all these things that he doesn't have. It's just these subtle little things just are so filled with meaning.
Well, here's the thing: is like why I think it's like another way to see it, which is that is definitely an interesting way, and I like that. But like the point is like he burns him at the very end, right? He lights him and his car on fire, which is, by the way, I don't know about you guys. I remember when he near the very beginning where like he's looking around his house and he sees those knives, his like dad's knives or something, and I was like, those are gonna come into play later. I was still shocked as soon as he stabbed him. I was like, holy shit. No. This is happening. That was crazy. That was crazy.
Not only is that scene have so much to it just within the film, but the way it's done, if I were to see that scene like without knowing what this movie's about, I would think it's so incredible for so many different reasons.
Yeah.
Like I want to see that scene like frame by frame and just talk about how amazing it is. No, it's so good.
It's great. It's great.
One take, the sky is perfect.
Yeah.
I like how at the end of it, like he's just stripped of all his clothes, like he's an animal.
Exactly.
And the thing is, it's like he was managed to be even worse than his father, who he hates. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like it's so tragic.
It's wild, but yeah, no, like okay, because we talked about this idea of envy, right? It's like this guy really wants everything that Ben has, and you know, and when he and like the one thing that like kind of keeps him going, not Ben, the main character, the girl, once the girl goes missing, it's like that's when he starts to kind of lose it, and he starts putting these pieces together that aren't really real. And why I bring up this idea of like this burning of something being a fulfillment to the main character is like, you know, when all this envy is built up and there's nothing that, you know, he could do to like actually have what the other person has, it's to kill him. Yeah. It's to kill him. I mean, that's kind of what envy is, in like the evil way of envy. It's like you wanting to take it. You know, like you wanting to literally have exactly what they have.
Dude.
And so that's why I think like the burning of him is like some sort of fulfillment. It's literally if I can't have it, nobody will. Yeah, and so like evil. Yeah, it's like that's why like, you know, he fucking lights him on fire,
and
dude.
The thing is, it's like it's also a thing where it's like he did what he didn't want to do, which is like, I mean, there's a difference between burning a greenhouse and burning a person, but I mean, at the end of the day, he still burns something. It's needlessly.
Similar.
It is very poetic. I would say another thing, dude. There's so much to talk about. Holy shit.
Yeah, this movie's great.
This is one of the this is incredible.
And I'm glad we talked about it because like my appreciation for it.
Dude, because there's just so much to it. There's so much brilliance to it. And I would say like, if you take into account like, if you put yourself in the state of mind of the character, it weirdly all makes sense. Because he says he loves this girl, like a girl that he had sex with once. He doesn't even know really. He knew her when she was a kid.
Dude, he
randomly saw her.
He didn't even know her like when he did see her. You know, she was the one that was like, "Oh, do you remember me?" And he's like,
no.
Like, yeah, dude.
No, but the thing is, like, he was just in a state of completely neediness, and then she goes away, or she disappears, and then the thing is, you see this other guy who remains so calm, who's like almost nice to him. It's almost like he has no other choice to believe that's a facade, because he can't even fathom how someone can be, you know, that. I mean, at the end of the day, Ben was kind of like a gracious guy.
Yeah.
Like, he invited him into his home when he saw him outside. Like, he was just nice, and then he started to... Even things that were completely, like, he didn't even need to do. Like, he started to take a William Faulkner just because...
Yeah. Just because he recommended it, yeah.
Recommended. It's pretty twisted. And it's crazy, man. Mm-hmm. Jesus.
But that's the thing is, like, in the moment, you can also, like, you know, because, like, you see it, like, you see two sides of the coin at the same time, where it's like, oh, is this, you know, a fabrication of what the main character thinks, or is it what he thinks? You know, like,
completely could be.
Yeah, because, like, dude, honestly, no, dead ass, I was getting to the point where I was like, dude, no, this Ben guy's a psycho.
No, exactly.
Yeah, like, this transformed from, like, this guy...
Well, for me, it was the opposite. Because for me, like, after that scene where he talks about burning the greenhouses and, like, he laughs at him, I was like, okay, this guy's evil.
Yeah.
But then it turned into, wait, who's the real evil one?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
What is really going on?
Yeah, dude, because, like, I was looking at it and I was like, no, dude, like, I think this guy fucking did something. And, like, when the guy goes up to the cat, and once again, it could be, you know, it could be taken either way, because he says, like, boil, and then the cat comes up to him. It could just be, bro, the cat just fucking walked up to you. You know what I mean? Like, it has nothing to do with the name. That cat's name isn't fucking Boyle. It's just another fucking cat. You know what I mean? Like, it's it's interesting, but like, but the point is that when that happened, I was like, holy shit, he killed the girl, he took the cat, like, is that what is going on? But then it kept going, and I was like, what? I don't understand. Like, yeah, it's perplexing.
He had a cat out of nowhere, and I was like, but the thing is, it's like, that could be, I mean, it's so well
dense.
thought out.
It's so dense.
But the thing is, when taking into account what kind of a guy Ben is, just based on literally taking at face value everything we've seen, it's perfectly reasonable to assume that he would adopt a cat, a stray cat.
Honestly,
think about it.
He's not really a bad guy at all. He's just not a bad guy. Like, in that sense, it's like, okay, he's a bad guy. Like, in the sense
Who
of,
knows?
I mean, shit. I mean, hey, he burns down abandoned greenhouses.
The thing is, a girl went missing conveniently around the same time that he said that he likes to do something that's kind of sus, which is burn down greenhouses.
Exactly. And, well, also, here's the other subtlety that, like, I thought was kind of interesting, and that what worried me. I mentioned how, like, earlier, when she's doing that dance in front of everyone, and he's yawning, like, he's become bored with her, it's like, oh, you could see that as, oh, he, like, literally, like, was done with her, and he's the kind of guy where it's like, if I don't need it, then I'm gonna get rid of it. And, like, when he does that again with the girl that's talking about China. You remember that? He, like, starts yawning at her, and is just like, and so, like, to me that signified, like, oh shit, he does this with all kinds of girls. That drawer filled with all of those different, like, pieces of jewelry, and, like, the watch, it's just like, dude, it signified so many different ways. You know what I mean?
Or maybe it could just be a thing. You could totally take it this way, where it's like, he's just such a calm and, like, almost civilized person that all these things that, like, talking about, like, oh, these Chinese people are so terrible, but I'd still date a Chinese guy. That seems childish. Or doing that dance.
Yes, exactly.
It could be taken as just like, oh, here these people go again, but they're still my friends. You know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah. Like, he's kind of bored by the conversation because he's,
Because he's above it, because he's just such a good guy. I mean, you could take it so many different ways, man.
Exactly. Like, I mean, shit, you think about, like, just the kind of convos he has earlier on, like, when we first meet him, and, like, he's definitely an intellectual. Like, the way he speaks, and, like, the way he kind of presents himself. It's funny because, like, I was gonna make a joke where I was like, oh man, I wish I had this guy's riz, because it's just like the way he, like, even reads her palm and stuff like that. Like, it's kind of subtle flirting, but oh shit, he knows how to read palms. Like, like, he's an intellectual. Yeah. He really is. Like, no, dude, all these characters, and honestly, I really do think the girl is, like, also a really great character.
Dude, we didn't even talk about her.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting. It truly is. That scene where they're eating noodles or whatever, and, like, she starts crying because she starts, talking about, like, the sunset she saw at Africa.
That scene, and then the scene where she's laughing one moment, and then she does the thing that's on the poster, and then she turns around and she's crying. Yeah, that just completely solidifies the fragility of her character.
Exactly, dude. It's so brilliant. This is honestly
one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, this is such a great movie, and I think also, like, talking about, like, another thing that you could, like, take from this, from, like an educational standpoint of, like, what we could make in the future ourselves, is, like, dude, this is an example of, like, just such good, like, character writing. Not necessarily, it's good writing, like, the actual dialogue, but I'm talking the actual development, like, of characters. Because earlier on, like, I mean, honestly, it happens a lot. It's like we already explained, like, there's a lot of moments where the movie's pretty quiet, and it's just characters doing things, and it's, like, not necessarily a lot happening, but, it's just, you're kind of with them, right? I found, like, one of the first things I picked up kind of early on in the movie is, like, you kind of started to get an idea of who this main character was, just seeing him kind of walk around his house, he stares at pictures of his father.
Exactly.
He goes out and, like, he does his house chores. It's, like, all these things,
or, like,
right?
Like the scene where he's, like, plowing the thing with the cow, and he, like, starts singing.
Exactly. Exactly. Like, dude. This, like, dude, it's so impressive how...
Or, like, he's trying to get people to sign the petition, you know what I mean? Like,
it's, like, such...
It's completely played as nonchalant, but it's just, it has so much weight to it.
Oh, yeah, it truly does add depth. And that's why I think, like, it's interesting. Like, why I say, like, you could take from this is, like, because, like, dude, it really is, like, just incredible, in my opinion. Like, how you can develop characters in that way without like really having like such an incredibly progressive and changing plot. You know what I mean? Like this movie kind of takes its time more. It's like, it's funny because like if I was to compare it with like honestly like something like Parasite, right? Parasite is very progressive. A lot happens in that movie, and like a lot and like the characters change in different ways, and like, you know, it makes sense how they progress because of like what the fuck happens in the time span of the movie. But with this, you know, it's not as forward spoken, you know, it's just and that is something that, like, dude, I don't know about you guys, but that's something I would like to do. Like, if I wanted to make a movie, I would want to make something, you know, like that, something that's subtle, something where, you know, I can express. Honestly, I was having a conversation with Cooper the other day about just like movies in general and the idea of, you know, just, we were just talking about movies, and he's mentioned how, like, you know, one of like the most amazing things you can do as like a filmmaker is like, you know, create like a feeling or an idea, or just like, you know, do some kind of storytelling visually, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it truly is. There's moments of like incredible writing and stuff like that, and incredible story, but dude, sometimes just like visual storytelling trumps all. It just trumps all.
Because it's so like understated, and there's, you know what I mean? Like, images are kind of primarily what movies are. That's like the gold prize of like an effective film, like Color Pomegranates or something. Because there's no dialogue in that.
Yeah, like that's something that like I hope to learn how to do in my own, like my own way. You know what I mean? Like if I ever make something, I want to do something like that. You know what I mean?
To me, that's like the most poignant a film can get, if you ask me.
Yeah, but it's an impressive feat,
of course,
and it's hard to do sometimes.
It's hard to do.
Yeah.
So when a movie does it, it's doing something ambitious, and when it does that, it's like, wow. Anyways, but yeah, Mackenzie.
Yeah, please. Listen, well, the only reason we went off is because you told me to shut up at the beginning of this recording.
Honestly.
Why'd you get mad, dude? Dude, I'm not kidding. You've maybe, if I went back and look at these recordings, I swear, you talk first in maybe total, like, 3 or 4. That has to be it. So that's why honestly I felt bad.
No, honestly, you never talk first.
Yeah, I felt bad because I was like, hold on, I want to hear Mackenzie's thoughts first. And he's like, what? I talked about you the first two.
It was a thing where it was like, it was only the last 2 times because we thought that you wouldn't have much to say. You know what I mean? Because we thought you would hate both movies.
Yeah. So, but also I feel bad just because like me and Chris being the talkers, and Carlos too. Honestly, Carlos does have a lot to say a lot of the time.
Dude, Carlos missed out on peak.
Dude, legit, dude, this is great, and I think he would have loved this.
I think he would have liked. I don't know how much, but I think he really would have. I don't know. I think he would have at least given it 3.5, but I would be not surprised at all if he gave it something higher. But I think we would have thought it was really good at least. I would think really good to great.
Maybe
to amazing. Like it would be in that. I don't think he would be like, yeah, it's good. I don't think so.
No, I don't think it would be like that.
I think at least a 3.5. But I mean, Carlos is the enigma of the group.
Yeah, he's interesting. But anyways, Mac, the other reason why I feel bad is like, you know, because like when we say everything and you're left with like, oh yeah, you guys kind of said everything. I kind of feel bad because like I want you to express your thoughts as well, dude.
Yeah.
So speak your truth.
I'm sorry.
No, don't say sorry. I'm saying sorry. Don't apologize.
I yelled at you. I'm sorry.
Truthfully.
No, but I mean, for this one, really, it was just kind of a thing where it's like, this just it really, a lot of it was just kind of.
You loved Ben. Just say it. You're gay.
I'm gay.
I'm gay.
Okay. Is he not cute though?
Shut up.
Is he not cute?
Why are you asking 2 straight guys this?
Well, okay.
He's handsome. Steven Yeun is a handsome guy.
Why do you always go like? Every time.
No, that's his new. No, trust me, I see right through that defense mechanism.
You guys are acting like this is a ridiculous statement.
That's a pretty ridiculous statement. I asked you what you thought about the movie, and you said
don't
you guys think he's cute? That's what you said.
Honestly.
Okay. Yeah,
No.
sure, he's cute. Okay, what else do you have to say?
But no, I mean, I really like this a lot. And for me watching it, I mean, I didn't really get as deep as y'all. Just how it's kind of the story and stuff was crazy. It kept me glued to the screen.
Yeah. Intrigue, always.
One thing that you guys didn't talk about yet was just the well.
Yeah, we really didn't go in depth about that.
Was there a well?
Was there a well?
I don't know.
man. That's
I love the scene with the mom because she's just so indifferent. She's just so like.
She's literally talking about like herself at first. She's like, "Oh yeah, whoops, talking about myself. I haven't seen my son for like 16
the whole
years."
time she's on her phone.
Exactly, dude. Exactly.
So sad.
No.
It's and considering like the story. Oh my god, we're just gonna keep getting into this. Considering the story that he said, like, you know, my dad kicked my mom out. You know, he had this temper and she couldn't stand it. She had to abandon me and my sister. You can sense why she's so like. It's almost like her indifference is like kind of a veil to hold all the to
block
all the trauma.
Exactly.
Because she just doesn't want to deal with it, and that's why the character is just kind of so depraved in a way. But it's so subtle.
Yeah,
it's so much food for thought.
It's so real too, though.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like subtle in the sense where it's like, oh, it's like incredibly ambiguous. Like it's like, oh, some form of symbolism. It's just like it's just real.
Yeah.
Like it's just it's
just kind of as is.
Yeah, it's
but
very,
you know,
very
it's like these things are presented in such a nonchalant way that you don't expect them to have as much significance and meaning. Like I said before,
they don't have to explain their feelings. You know
and
what
dude,
I mean?
that just for me, the way that the film is structured, it makes the end all the more impactful.
It really
does.
Just
it's so horrifying.
Yeah. But no, yeah, Mackenzie, talking about the well, I remember when they're getting high outside of the main character's house, and, like, she says, you know, yeah, she brings up the story of the well, and she says, like, oh, yeah, it's interesting, though, because, you know, he forgot it. But, like, dude, it's like, a lot of people don't even know, like, if there was ever even a well. And, like, and when the mother says that there was one, it's like, can you really take her fucking word for it? It's like, dude.
Maybe she's just saying, I mean, she says it with just, like, this phony smile on her face.
Exactly.
So she's just affirming his like childish.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, there was a well. You know?
Yeah, or even just like, dude, maybe she just doesn't care. Like she's just like.
That's also. Yeah, exactly.
It's just like, dude. Oh yeah, like I can't even remember. She separated herself so much from that home and that old life she had that she's just like, oh yeah, well, I guess.
Well.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
Yeah. So.
Who knows about anything?
Exactly. So like the wells. Honestly, sad too because okay, once again, talking about you know, the idea of like I'm just gonna call it the whole Mandarin Orange thing, where like she, you know, making something up that's like was never really there in the first place. The figmentation,
but it's like a thing where it's like that gives you kind of like then it is really there if you believe in it.
Exactly.
You know?
So it's like this girl who is clearly troubled. You know, it's just like she is really, really depressed and she's missing something. It's like this idea of like the well. Maybe that's like maybe this is like some kind of symbol of just like her own thoughts, man. You know,
maybe, like, dude, it could be taken totally as like kind of a figment that's motivated by just victim complex.
Exactly.
Know what I mean? Because she was
trapped in a well, looking at the sky.
Yeah,
it's
and,
like,
and it's a thing where it's like she was treated like doo-doo in their early life, and like even by the main character, like before she has sex with him, she's like, one day I'll never forget this, right before they're having sex, it's like, you called me ugly. It's like you said you're so ugly to her, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like you could completely understand why she would
man,
make something like that up, or just kind of believe in it enough for it to be real. And the thing is, like, the scary thing is that we've all kind of done that, either kind of created something out of thin air when we were young, or exaggerated the truth to kind of meld to our emotions.
Exactly,
isn't that so strange?
Yeah, it's kind of, I think it's a thing that humans do just in general,
of
man.
Course,
I don't even think it's just when you're a child. I think it can even be done when you're a grown ass adult. Yeah, it's that's real. It's so
it's like what this is one of the best movies I've ever seen.
How does someone like think of this?
Yeah, no, but it's completely like, I mean, you see people do that all the time.
Yes, it's a real thing.
It's so real.
Yeah, no, this is a great movie, dude.
This is so peak. Dude.
Yeah, this is a great fucking movie.
In every sense of the word, dude. Honestly, like I was expecting Steven Yeun to be distracting. I think he's a great choice for this. Not only because of his acting, but also like you have this idea of Steven Yeun that he is like. Because like all the girls like him, and he's like super
all the girls and one guy.
He's like super well established as an actor, so you know that kind of fits in with the character. So and if anything, it added to the movie. Yeah, and sometimes you can't help but think of The Walking Dead when you look at it, because I watched that show and like so I really think of The Walking Dead when I think of Steven Yeun. But now I'm going to be thinking of this, man. Honestly.
Yeah, no, honestly, great performances.
Great,
truly.
All around, amazing. Yeah. I like how, the thing is, it's like, the main guy is like, if you were to remember, for me, every single image of him in the movie, his face is always like kind of like mouth open, a bit confused, kind of. But yeah, no, it's just so many good performances.
And Ben is like mewing.
Bro, what did I tell you a couple days ago?
He said he started mewing and he's changed forever.
You have not. Mac, you are on thin ice, man. I don't know if I can be your friend if you keep this shit up, dude. I can't associate myself with you.
What about associate yourself with Mew?
Fucking bitch. Sorry. Sorry.
That was good. Dude, yeah, no. No, he's always... No, but he's always, like, kind of happy and, like...
He's always content.
Yeah, honestly.
He is.
And then the girl is always, like, you know, she's either, like... It's almost like the mom. Like, she's kind of, like, happy and outgoing, but, you know, behind that, there's so much grief.
She gets fucking distressed, and then she just falls asleep.
And she either falls asleep or falls apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Women.
Honestly. Yeah.
No, dude, this is like numerical wise. I mean, dude, I think this is.
I'm giving this a 9.
Really?
I'm giving this a 9.
Wow.
I think this is one of the best films I've ever seen in my life.
That's crazy. I mean, I agree because like I would give this like I'm giving this like a good 8.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really do think this was great. Hard 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, this was great, dude. It's
As of right now, just talking about it, thinking about it, maybe it'll go down, but I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think it's a 9 out of 10.
I don't know, like, dude, I just think like it's just reflecting on it, and it's not a thing where it's like, oh, it's just a reflection that I think is good. It's like no, I just like the movie itself. Really, I enjoy.
The thing is, it's like while you're watching it, like we keep saying, it's like you don't realize what's really going on until the very end, and then you're forced to kind of put the pieces together and be like, oh wait, that's that, and that's that, and there's going all over the place.
Exactly, dude.
Wow.
No, it's impressive. It's an impressive film. I think it's great. Yeah, I'm probably thinking like a good 8 out of 10 on this. This is definitely going to my favorites. This is definitely something I'm gonna want to own. Is this on Criterion? No. Yeah.
I honestly think obviously I think it should be. I think they're considering it, but I think eventually it's possible that it could get on just because I remember this. Like I've heard a lot of people talk about this one. Like this one's kind of like the buzz for it is pretty significant.
Yeah. Point is though is that I want to own this.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, great movie. I'll be excited to watch this again. Honestly, like because I think this is one of those movies where seeing it, knowing where it's gonna go, I feel like dude, there's just gonna be more things to pick up on.
Honestly,
I think this is
the real question is
what
did Devin think? 'Cause he didn't give it a score.
That's curious. Did he leave a heart?
Nope.
Okay, well then you'll have to ask him.
You know what he's gonna call us after we log this all with super high scores?
Yep. Asian centrist.
Hey, it's true for like
one of us.
Honestly.
Oh, okay.
What?
Sorry.
What?
Sorry, buddy. I'm all I'm gonna say is you got the app on your phone.
Okay. That's just a joke. That's just a joke.
And
Next time you see me, it's gone. Next time you see me, it's gone.
Okay.
The girl in the movie was very pretty though, but she did get plastic surgery.
So she's fake.
Yeah.
On her what? Her boobas? Or she didn't say where. She just said
Her
plastic
face,
surgery.
I
Probably
would
just her
think.
face. Yeah.
Well, no, not the girl. Like in the beginning, like the 3 Twice members on the billboard. Damn,
that was Twice.
That's when I really knew the movie was peak. Twice was in the movie.
Okay, motherfuckers.
I feel like something else was in this movie. Something else weird.
Mackenzie?
No, Steven Yeun.
Oh. Anyways, hey, Mac, what did you give this movie?
Well, I also want to say one more thing. I'm pretty sure. So this is based off a short story or a book.
Oh, okay.
I had no idea.
It's by I want to say his name's Takashi Murakami, like the famous Japanese writer.
Never heard of him.
I'm not.
Well, I feel like I heard the name, but maybe I just know every Takashi.
Yeah.
Are all Takashis go to?
What about 6ix9ine?
It sounds familiar, but it could just be like a thing of another guy with a similar name. I don't know.
Is Takashi 6ix9ine the goat?
Yeah.
Okay, shut up.
Takashi Mizutani,
But no, yeah,
Takashi Shimura.
I'm not sure if it's a short
Takashi
story
from
or a whole
Japan.
or a whole book.
Kind of want to read it now.
Exactly. No, yeah,
Yeah.
it's got me interested. I wonder like how different like
Hold on there.
it could be.
How differently it was adapted?
Yeah.
Did this get any like? Okay, I know like this means nothing to anybody, but yeah, did this get anything like?
I feel like honestly, maybe it did.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be
I
surprised.
mean, I feel like it would be shocking.
Well, this was also that 1 year before Parasite.
Yeah.
So that was before the floodgates opened.
What the fuck?
I feel like
2018 Green Book.
Yeah, that was better than this. But but also but beyond that, I think at cons it probably did well. Like I remember hearing about this movie for years. Like I remember.
Yeah, great, dude, great fucking movie. But
it didn't win the Palme d'Or though. I don't know what did.
But what else, Mackenzie? What other thoughts you got?
What won 2018?
What won 2018 and what, the Palme d'Or?
Yeah.
I have no clue.
it
I'm honestly very unfamiliar.
Is it called the Square? The thing that did Triangle of Sadness? Is that that year?
I don't know.
Bro makes movies about shapes.
Isn't that what it's called?
That sounds
we
familiar.
could look it up.
Yeah,
Here, I can look it up right now. I have my phone on me.
Okay, but Mackenzie.
Yeah, and also this movie is it's super similar to the movie Under the Silver Lake
Oh yeah, I know about that.
Okay.
That's with Spider-Man, right?
with Spider-Man, and then so it's kind of like, but like this is like, it's kind of like how I said like
The Square.
Seven
Oh no.
is similar to Cure though.
Okay, the
So
movie.
this is just like
just
Okay.
way more
yeah,
elevated.
exactly.
Shoplifters won that year, which actually looks very good. I haven't seen it, but it does.
That's
look
on the
good.
watch list too, isn't it?
That
Stooges
is,
watch list? Yeah. We gotta watch that.
So that at least it wasn't like The Square, which looks like the worst movie.
Didn't
I've
that
seen.
what year?
It won the year before 2017.
Yeah.
I looked at Palme d'Or, and then the first list that came up was like what someone thought should have won or something. So I saw the Image book by Godard, and I'm like, that won? There's no way.
Okay. Well, shit, dude. So wait, okay. Can you put 4? Dude, this could be Stooges approved.
This is the best Korean film I've seen in my life.
Wow.
For sure.
Dude, yeah.
Well,
no.
I just like a lot of the movies I like, but like I'm not
Yeah.
really crazy about them
Mhm.
particular. I mean, they're
Yeah, no.
but this is
I
my
know.
favorite. I need to see some more though.
This
There's so many movies. It's crazy.
was great. This
This
is a
was
great movie.
amazing.
I'm glad we watched this, genuinely.
Dude, I've been watching nothing but Godard movies. Yeah.
But yeah, talking about Burning though, great movie.
No,
Possibly
incredible.
Stooges approved. Definitely. It could be. It could be, dude.
It definitely could be, but
If so, that makes 12. That makes
dude, we
12
actually
Stooges
have a
approved.
lot.
Yeah, no, it's building.
Like Barry Lyndon.
I can't believe Barry Lyndon
Yeah,
made it
no,
on. I'm
what's
actually
wrong
kind of
with you?
surprised about that.
I'm so surprised.
Yeah, I really am.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm gonna be real. Like, I just thought, like, I don't
That's
know.
too bad.
I don't know. But Burning, no, I could see Burning.
No, that
I
one.
could see
That
Burning.
one is not too out of the realm of
Yeah,
impossibility.
yeah. And that would be talking about the the cultural, or not cultural, but like just the different countries involved in the Stooges approved list, because like
Let me see.
I mean, I think we have a Japanese.
Well, hold up. I think we Spirited Away.
Yeah, Spirited Away is
Oh,
Japanese. Kurosawa. Kurosawa's no, we don't have Kurosawa. I'm thinking of I was thinking I was thinking if we killed Mackenzie, we would have a
We would
Kurosawa
have-
in there.
a lot that we don't have.
Yeah.
Okay, let me run through the countries real
Wait,
quick.
Akira Kurosawa?
Yeah, I fucked up.
We don't have either Kurosawa.
Yeah, I was about to say,
surprisingly.
yeah.
I know. Well,
I thought you were talking about that
for
one.
some reason, I
Alright,
just
so judging on I do from how I do it where the movie was shot and takes place and like what language they speak.
Yeah.
So Y2 Mama's Mexico, Holy Mountain's Mexico, technically.
Was it shot in Mexico though?
It was all in it was in Mexico.
Okay. Well then,
so,
yeah. I'm
so
just
2 from
racist.
Mexico, 1 from I guess 2 from the United States if you count Dancer in the Dark, which I would count that as an American movie. I know Lars is Danish, but
Maybe, yeah.
I would count Dancer in Mulholland as American. I don't know what Enter the Void, what you would categorize that as. What would that
Yeah,
be?
well-
The Void. I don't
It
know.
would be
'Cause
Japanese,
it's in Japan,
Argentina,
and it's in English.
but he's also
An alien.
says he's French, but he's not.
Holy shit! It is
Spirited
late.
Away is Japanese. Funny Games is Hungarian. Mishima's I would count Mishima as Japanese. I know this is weird. To
I
think
know.
about.
Sometimes I've just
I would
considered
count
it.
Mishima as Japanese because everything. Paul Schrader is an American guy, but like
I don't know. It's kind of it's hard. Sometimes
Barry
I would.
Lyndon. Barry Lyndon's British, even though Kubrick's American. Honestly, for
Sometimes I consider, dude. Sometimes it's difficult because I consider Holy Mountain a Chilean film because
I don't
it's
think
just,
so,
but he's
but, like-
because Jodorowsky is Chilean. But at the same time, yeah, I know like where it was filmed and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. I don't know. It's tough. I don't even know how you categorize that.
I would just say like where
where it was filmed and like
just,
the language
what,
it is,
and like what all the extras, what most of the crew was from.
I guess.
But like, does that make Enter the Void Japanese? No, not really. And I would say Barry Lyndon's a British movie, even though Kubrick's American. Like, just because one person was, Robert Redford's American.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Honestly, a lot of these are kind of like cross-cultural type films,
exactly.
which is interesting.
No, well, we have it's an eclectic list.
It is.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good list,
It
and
is good. If someone showed me that and was like, "That's my favorite movies," I'd be like, "Oh, base."
yeah, exactly.
I've given all those a 4 or higher.
Any more thoughts?
No.
Okay, thus concludes
Ben's the goat.
Burning.